as a new recipient, one of the most important things you can do is really commit to consistent wear. We often recommend at least 10 hours a day of having that implant on and working for you. Even if you are a little bit uncomfortable or some of the sounds around you are things you're still getting used to a little bit, wearing it as much as possible and as consistently as possible is going to be important. In addition to that, there are some things you can be doing at home to really support the rehabilitation process. And Cochlear also has a lot of tools and resources to help support that. So within our Copilot app, there are a series of different self-guided rehabilitation exercises and listening exercises that you can be doing on your own time at home to really kind of strengthen your hearing with a cochlear implant. I think something that's important for new recipients to realize is that learning to hear with a cochlear implant takes work. It is going to take effort, and it's going to be something that, takes time to accomplish, but that work has a payoff at the end. And I think bringing forward your motivation and your own determination to hear better, really committing to that journey is the most important thing you can do, with that understanding that that work is going to have that payoff, and there is going to be that day where all of a sudden you wake up and you realize that you are able to engage with your life in a way that you hadn't been able to before your cochlear implant.
You are in a room that's pitch black, you have a blackout curtains on over a window. If you're in that room for an extended period of time, your eyes start to adjust, right? It's still dark, you can't see perfectly, but you're no longer stubbing your toe on the side of the bed or whatever it is in the room, like you're able to navigate, you adapt. Same concept with the cochlear implant. So if you were to go to that blackout curtain with the window and you drew those curtains back, drew them all the way back after being in that room, what's your automatic reaction? It's overstimulation. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to shut that curtain. I'm never going to open that again. It's just overwhelming. And we don't want that when we're first turning on a cochlear implant. So think of it as you're in this dark room in terms of sound, and the audiologist is going to slowly open that window of sound. So you're working with this much access to sound, and for that reason, it's going to sound strange. And you have all these other factors coming into play. So that, in addition to the work you put into it afterwards, is really important. You want to wear it 10 plus hours a day. You don't want to sit in quiet all day long. That's not going to help anyone. It's not going to help you. You want to do rehab exercises, read out loud to yourself, have someone read to you. And so I think just getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and making yourself go through this, having patience and grace too, is a really important thing.
It can be the worst day of hearing, but you're gaining back something you haven't had for a while. What we found in research is those that dedicate a certain amount of time, first thing in the morning, get your cup of coffee or water, whatever you do, put your processor on and dedicate some time to listening to whatever you love. If that's your favorite song on repeat and reading the lyrics along with it, that is a wonderful way to just retrain your brain to understand what it's hearing. So there's gonna be all these new sounds that you get to relearn what those sounds are. And it's a great opportunity to re-hear the world. But you actually have the power to get the most out of your implant. The other thing you can do is rent audiobooks from your local library along with the print and read and listen along. But you get to do that. And every single day that you do the rehab, you're gonna pick up more and more and more. And eventually, you're gonna be hearing and you won't even remember that you didn't hear maybe anything on activation day. And that's okay, because it's a process. It's a beautiful process.
One thing I would tell patients who are moving forward with surgery and quite nervous about it is connect with someone else who's been through the surgery before. It is going to break down a lot of fears having someone who's been through that same exact journey that you're about to go through. That journey is going to look completely different person to person, although not that different, but that experience of having surgery, the excitement around initial activation, and then as well the progress you're going to be making in your first 3 months, 6 months, your first year, it's really nice to have someone you can rely on throughout that journey and process.